turning up drunk to Barcelona training, wasting millions, and even trying to marry 2 women at the same time. But here's the crazy part. This same guy became the king of football, a Ballon d'Or winner, the face of the whole sport. And then 15 years later, he's broke, stuck in a Paraguayan prison, and literally has around $5 in his bank account. So how does a full-time party animal end up becoming the best player in the world? Born on March 21st, 1980, he grew up in a family that was constantly fighting to get by. His dad, who used to play football himself, was working long shifts at a shipyard, and his mom was putting in crazy hours as a nurse just to keep the lights on. Life was rough, and cash was always tight, but there was one bright spot in the family: Ronaldinho's older brother, Roberto. This guy had real talent. He was 10 years older and signed a professional contract when Ronaldinho was just 8 years old, and that changed everything. Suddenly, the family had money coming in, and as part of the deal, they were even given a house with a pool. For them, that was like winning the lottery, but just when things finally felt good, life hit them hard. One day, little Ronaldinho came home to a nightmare. His dad had suffered a heart attack, fallen into the pool, and drowned. Losing him crushed the whole family, and before they could even fully recover, tragedy struck again. Roberto suffered a brutal knee injury, and his promising career basically collapsed overnight. Just like that, the dreams the family had been building were falling apart. But here's the thing about Roberto: he didn't give up. Even with his own career done, he stepped up and became the father figure Ronaldinho needed. He trained him, guided him, pushed him, because he saw something special, something even bigger than what he had. Their bond was strong, and that bond would follow them forever. Sometimes in the best ways, and sometimes in the worst. And Ronaldinho didn't take long to prove everyone right. His talent was so ridiculous that by age 13, playing for Grêmio's youth academy, he went viral before going viral was even a thing. He scored all 23 goals in a 23-0 match. Yes, every single one. That insane performance earned him a spot in Brazil's U17 World Cup squad, where suddenly the whole country was calling him the next big thing. But remember that loyalty to his brother Roberto? Yeah, that's gonna come back later, and not in a good way. When he finally turned 18, Grêmio gave him his first professional contract, and from the moment he stepped on the pitch, he looked different. In his debut season, he played 38 games and scored 6 goals. Not bad for a teenager. But the next year, he jumped to 22 goals in 47 games. And then came his final season: 28 goals in 37 matches. And honestly, even those numbers don't show the magic he brought. The skills, the swagger, the joy. He made football look like art. One moment from his Grêmio days still lives rent-free in Brazilian football history. He absolutely destroyed the legendary Dunga twice in the same match. Humiliated him. Fans loved it, but Dunga definitely didn't. More than 10 years later, Dunga became the manager of the Brazilian national team. And let's just say, he didn't forget. With all this hype, Europe was obviously watching. And in 2001, Ronaldinho finally made the jump, signing for Paris Saint-Germain. Not the PSG of today with unlimited money and superstars. Back then, it was just a decent French club trying to grow. Funny thing is, Ronaldinho almost joined Arsenal, but a failed work permit ruined the move. So PSG it was, handled entirely by his older brother Roberto, who had become his agent and basically ran every part of his life. And hey, before we go deeper, hit that like and subscribe button if you're enjoying the story so far. It helps a lot. Now, when Ronaldinho got to Europe, the start wasn't exactly fireworks. He didn't walk into PSG as the main man. He had to earn it. At first, he was just another squad player trying to find his place. But after the winter break, something switched. He came back on fire, scoring 4 goals in 4 straight games. And suddenly, the coach had no choice but to stick him in the starting 11. His first season ended up being really solid, especially in the big matches where he always found a way to shine. But here's the thing with Ronaldinho: wherever he goes, the nightlife follows. And Paris? Oh man, Paris was basically a playground for him. The coach even went public saying Ronaldinho was choosing parties over football. And honestly, he kinda was. He was becoming a star on the pitch and in the clubs. And even though fans loved it, it was planting problems for the future. But then came the moment every Brazilian dreams of. Summer 2002, Ronaldinho gets the call up for the World Cup. And he wasn't just there for vibes, he was there to dominate. Brazil Brazil rolled into that tournament with maybe the scariest front three ever: R9, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho. The three R's, they were unstoppable. Ronaldinho's big moment came against England, that legendary free kick that nobody saw coming. The curve, the dip, the chaos, absolute madness. By the end of the tournament, Brazil were champions, and Ronaldinho came home a world champion at just 22 years old. With that new superstar glow, PSG gave him the number 10 shirt for the next season, and again, he did his thing. Big goals, big performances, but the partying didn't stop. On the pitch, he was electric, but PSG as a team, they struggled hard. They finished 11th, and it was obvious. Ronaldinho was too big for that situation. He needed a club that matched his ambition. So in 2003, he made a huge decision. He signed for Barcelona for 30 million, turning down Manchester United in the process. Now here's the funny part. Barcelona back then was nothing like the Barcelona we know today. They were a mess. But Ronaldinho, he became the spark that started everything. Even Xavi said it. Ronaldinho started the rise of Barcelona. He showed up wearing the iconic number 10, scored on his debut, and instantly became the new hero of the Camp Nou. It felt like he suddenly locked in. Fewer party headlines, more magic on the field. His first season, 22 goals in 45 games, and he helped Barca beat Real Madrid for the first time in years. The fans couldn't get enough. Then came season 2. Barcelona were back, and they were scary. They won their first league title in over 7 years, and Ronaldinho won the FIFA World Player of the Year. His influence was so huge that even rival fans had to respect him, but nothing compared to the 2005-06 season. This was peak Ronaldinho, the absolute height of his powers. That season, Barca won the league again. Ronaldinho won another World Player of the Year. He won the Ballon d'Or, and oh yeah, he also helped Barcelona win the Champions League. 26 goals, a million smiles, and football that didn't even look real. And then came the moment that proved he was on another level. Barcelona versus Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Barca win 3-0. Ronaldinho scores twice, and the Real Madrid fans and the most hostile fans in football stand up and clap for him. That kind of respect, only Maradona had gotten it before. That was the peak of Ronaldinho. The moment the whole world agreed he wasn't just great, he was magic. But just when Ronaldinho was sitting on top of the world, everything started slipping. The 2006 World Cup was supposed to be his tournament. Brazil had this ridiculous attacking lineup: Kaká, Adriano, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. Pure insanity. But the team was unbalanced, top-heavy, and honestly looked confused most of the time. Then France knocked them out in the quarterfinals, and the whole country went into meltdown. And instead of going quiet, Ronaldinho and Adriano were reportedly out partying right after the loss. Brazilian fans did not take that well at all. People were so angry they literally took down a statue of him. Overnight, he went from golden boy to public enemy number 1, and that disappointment followed him back to Barcelona. In the 2006-07 season, he was still flashy, still brilliant in moments, but that hunger, it wasn't the same. Meanwhile, this skinny kid named Lionel Messi was starting to take all the spotlight. You could feel the shift. Next season, things only got worse. Injuries, late nights, poor form. The whole cycle repeated, and then Pep Guardiola arrived. Pep wanted discipline, focus, and a team built around Messi. Ronaldinho, Pep loved him as a legend, but he didn't want him influencing the younger players, so he made the brutal decision. Ronaldinho had to go, and just like that, at only 28 years old, his prime was basically over. In 2008, he moved to AC Milan, hoping for a fresh start, but the same problems followed him. His fitness wasn't great, and Milan's nightlife swallowed him whole. Even Carlo Ancelotti said it wasn't surprising. Ronaldinho was never the type to keep himself in top shape. Sure, he had moments of magic and even finished as Serie A's assist leader at one point, but everyone could see it. He wasn't the same guy who lit up the Camp Nou. His last chance to get back on top was the 2010 World Cup. But guess who the Brazil manager was? Dunga. Yep. The same Dunga he humiliated years ago. And surprise, surprise, Ronaldinho didn't even make the squad. A lot of people saw that as payback. After that, he leaned fully into the party lifestyle. In 2011, Milan finally said enough, and he went back to Brazil to join Flamengo with a contract that literally allowed him to party twice a week. twice a week. That tells you everything. Flamengo didn't work out, but he did manage a small comeback with Atletico Mineiro, helping them win the Copa Libertadores. After that, he jumped around Mexico, India, and slowly drifted out of football, but retirement didn't calm the chaos. In 2019, he got hit with a massive fine in Brazil for illegal construction, lost properties, and even had his passport seized. Then in 2020, things got even crazier. He tried entering Paraguay using a fake passport, and yes, it was his brother Roberto pulling the strings again. Ronaldinho got dragged into the mess, arrested, and spent 32 days in a Paraguayan prison, and that's the saddest part of all of this. A guy who once made the whole world smile ended up broke, stuck in legal trouble, and used by the very person he trusted the most. Ronaldinho's story stopped being a fairy tale and turned into a warning about what happens when talent isn't protected. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow, and tell me in the comments what you think about Ronnie's crazy journey. And hey, if you're into stories like this, there's another video on the screen waiting for you. Go check it out. You're gonna love it.